So first thing we want to do is disconnect the hybrid system. So in the trunk here, clean it all out. We want to lift this up. Then we want to take out this styrofoam. So now we have 2 bolts in the corner holding this little cover on. We'll get those 2 bolts off, 10 millimeter. Okay, there we go. And right here is the service plug. It should be orange, and those bolts are black so you can identify them different than the other silver bolts. So with our plug, let me zoom you in. There's a little green tab here. We want to pull up with our thumb like that, and then this whole thing moves and then out. So to put it in, slide it in, whole thing closes like that, and you push in on the green lock. Pull that out one more time. That's it. So now our high voltage battery is disconnected from our cables that run up front. So now we'll pull off our cover. Now these can be on pretty tight. They're just held on by grommets though, so go ahead and just pull. There's no fasteners holding it down, just the grommets. We're gonna pull this off here, just some clips, hold it in. So just a pair of pliers like this. We'll get these clips. Pops up like that and out. First we'll remove the duct. That one there, this one down here. Got this hose, pop that off. There we go. Just leave that out of the way and bring it around. So we have this EGR tube. It's like a 12 mil. So it's loose. Okay, all this harness can be moved out of the way. If you have a small needle nose, you can get behind and just pinch it together and it'll pop right out of its little bracket. If you don't have needle nose, you can get a flathead screwdriver in there and do one side at a time. Okay, loose, loose, loose. Disconnect the map sensor. There's a 10 millimeter harness bracket down here. All right, next it has us remove the throttle body and just push it out of the way. Looks like 10 mil. Move that up and over. That can just stay down. It has a couple coolant hoses attached to it. Now this EGR has 2 more bolts going in, 12 mil. We'll just loosen those up. Might just give us enough wiggle room. So straight back. Okay. Let's see what that did for us. Yeah, that helps. If we need to, we'll pop it the rest of the way off. But so now we have a 10 mil stay here for this coolant pipe. We also have a 10 mil here. We might be able to move this hose a little if needed. Just do that real quick. Let's give us more room if we need. Now it looks like 12 millimeter for these. There's one in the center. Those bolts with a magnet. So it's hard to see, but I'm popping off this electrical connector right here. Let me show you how it works once I get it off. Okay, pull it all the way through just to show you. Okay, so it's locked in like this, and you have this yellow connector that you have to pop up, and then you just pull it out. And that's it. So there's this yellow lock connector that locks it all in. So that's it. You can look at this front one here for some more details. It's kind of hard just to see in there, but we got the electrical connector off. Now we can get our hand in there. There are 2 bolts. Definitely one is a retaining bracket. I can't really show you, but you can see it plain as day right through here. And there may be another one next to it, but definitely one, that's for sure. It's a 12 millimeter. We got a 12 mil on a 1/4 inch. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, is that the only one? And the other one is just a bracket holding a bunch of electrical connectors on. Let's still see if we can get that off. This might make it easier. That's why it's not working. It's a 10 mil, not a 12. Switched it up on me. I'm going back in with my 1/4. 10 mil. There we go. Well, some of this, looking at it, I might be able to actually get from underneath. So if you're struggling like I am, maybe just go underneath and see if you can get it better. Let me do that right now and let you know what it's like. All right, lesson learned. You can get it from underneath, relatively simple. So you probably don't even have to pull this electrical connector off. In case you do, at least you know how to pull it off. Let's see if that is it. Before we do that, let's vacuum this out real quick so no debris gets inside the engine. All right, one more hose up here. Pop that off. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. We might just have to maneuver. Okay, there we go. Still on that. Wiggle, wiggle. Nice. Let's see, what are we stuck on here? Nothing, just this hose. Can get bent under like that. Okay. I think it's just a bunch of hoses and stuff. Still in the way. Okay. So we got this little valve. We can undo this hose there. Must be the purge solenoid. We'll just pop that off. There we go, and out. Now these gaskets are rubber, they are reusable. You just have to inspect them. So if they're still raised above the plastic and they're still flexible, then it's up to you to reuse them. If they're hard, brittle, squished flat, then I'd recommend replacing them. And these GDIs are known for their carbon buildup in the intake. So that's just something to think about. Since you're already in here, intake is off, clean it out. Double check that we're not missing anything down below. No tools, no bolts, okay? It's gotta come this way some more, but oh, there we go. EGR stuff. There we go. I think I've already said it, but with all these gaskets, throttle body gasket, EGR gasket, they are reusable. You just have to inspect the gasket and make sure they're in reusable shape. Otherwise, go ahead and get a new set. Now, I don't have a torque for the throttle body, but it's going into plastic and it has a rubber, easily squishable gasket. So I'd say somewhere around 7 to 10 foot-pounds is all it needs. Couple bolts for our EGR. 3 bolts. You might have to do the towel trick. So if you take a towel or a rag or even a piece of glove, you put it over the top of your socket, it makes for a tighter fit. So now it doesn't come off. You can get places without it coming off the end of your thing. You just pull it off. Now the rag tends to stay behind, but you can just get it. All right, do it again for the other 2. So these are about 17 foot-pounds. Let's put on our little hose here. Now, I didn't have my microphone plugged in, so the audio might not be the best for whatever portion of time that was, so I apologize. I'm really just looking for my pliers at the moment. I can use these needle nose. I'm just getting this hose clamp back on. We have that little bracket we can bolt on. I think that's it down here, so we can put this back on. 10 mil. Plug our big guy in down below. Make sure we have that yellow clip in the lock position. And we got this hose here, has a bracket that can get bolted on. All right, get this for our VVT solenoid. We also have a connector right down here for our map sensor, and then that bracket as well. Okay, we got this here. Now we have our bracket underneath. There's the 2 bolts, so the 12 millimeter and then the 10 millimeter. We'll get that from bottom side. Throw this one on.